Good morning. The sun isn't even up yet, but it's going to be an exciting day, I think. So let's do this. All right, welcome back. In this episode, I'm going to be showing you one of my brand new project cars. I'm really excited about this. This has been a bucket list car for me, so I could keep talking and drag this out, but let's just get to it. So the majority of my channel has been rebuilding the 911 lately, but I love all sorts of cars. I also own a 1986 Civic Si. This is a 90s, this is the next generation. The 86 I purchased because it was a one-owner car, it was rust-free, it was not modified in any way, and I love that car, I adore it. It's really fun to drive and lightweight, but this car is better in like every single way imaginable. The EF chassis is just fantastic. Double wishbone suspension everywhere, a little more power, a little better styling. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be selling the 86 next spring, so keep an eye out for that. But I'm gonna be doing a video that compares this car to its predecessor, the original Si. So what I'm gonna do now is walk you through this car. I haven't touched it yet. God, rooster. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna walk you through this. What I'm gonna do now is walk you through this car before that rooster makes another cock-a-doodle-doo. So yeah, let's get to it. I haven't touched this car at all yet, so this is how I purchased it. So I would classify this as a survivor. It hasn't really been modified much. It does have some ground control coilovers with some conies. Other than that, it's pretty stock. It does have a muffler, which I'm going to be getting rid of because that is terrible. I don't even know what that is. HP Racing? Yeah, we're gonna get rid of that for sure. Other than that though, this thing hasn't really been touched much. I really hate that rooster right now. People talk about the golden age of Honda. This is one of the cars that started it. I really bought this thing because I've always wanted to own one, and also I think it's going to be a future classic. I mean, the styling is great. It's a little shoebox, but this one really just hasn't been messed around with too much. I mean, it has suspension work done to it, which is awesome because why not? These cars are amazing with good suspension in it. Other than that, it has a stereo. I'll show you the interior here. Door panels in perfect shape. Seats in great shape. Even the driver bolster shows a little bit of thinness here, but really it's pretty incredible. It has 153,000 miles. There's nothing really wrong with it. Everything works. The air conditioning is not hooked up, but it's all there. Looks like I'm gonna need a shift boot, some floor mats. The seats are great. I think they need to clean them a little bit, but other than that, I'll walk you through some of the cool things about this car. I've had an EF sedan in the past. I've had third generation Accords. I've had third generation Preludes, but this is my first EF hatch. So there's a couple things that are a little different. This is the seatbelt warning light right here. I'm pretty sure this was shared with the third gen Prelude as well. What else is a little interesting? fresh air vent here. That was one of my favorite features from my 89 Accord. You could have the heat pouring out of the footwells, and you could flip these little levers here on an Accord, and you could get fresh air coming up into your face. So you could have warm toes with fresh air on your face. It was awesome. Really, really simple controls on this car. I mean, I don't know why companies feel like they need to move away from this. It's so easy to use and straightforward. The other thing is the build quality on these Hondas is just awesome. Everything is kind of a little squishy. The panel gaps are pretty tight everywhere. It's just a very high quality built economy car. But the visibility, I mean, when you look at how much is glass on this car, like look at this. This visibility is nuts. And when you're in the driver's seat, there's no hood whatsoever. It's gone. So you're just in this really light, airy glass box, which just can't be replicated by modern cars. Modern cars have, you know, safety standards and all sorts of stuff that didn't really exist when this car was produced. But because it's new enough, it still has the reliability and the performance of a newer car. This is the second gen of the EF hatch. So the 88, 89s had traditional seat belts. The regulation said, Honda, you either need to have airbags or some sort of active restraint system. So what they did is they mounted the seat belts in the door here. And the way you're supposed to, the way they argued that they didn't have to have airbags was if you buckle yourself, see this says emergency release for seatbelt is located on buckle. This is the emergency release. And it even says it right there. This is definitely a loophole. Because everyone I know who's owned one of these cars, they've always just used this. But this is what Honda was arguing, that it is an active seatbelt system, because you can open the door and have the seatbelt still like this, and I can technically get out. So this is what they wanted you to do, which is ridiculous. So there we go. Now I'm back in. I can shut the door, and my seatbelt is automatically on. A couple things that made the Si more desirable. I mean, it had a fuel-injected engine, a little more power, a little better suspension. This has a power sunroof or moonroof because it's glass. But none of them had power windows, which I think is interesting. I kind of assumed they did, but whatever, that's fine. Manual windows are fine, especially when the car is small enough that you can just reach over and grab it. Let's pop the hood. So these are CRX Si wheels. I don't know why they're on this car, but they're going to be going away. Wow, look at that. A completely stock D16. My red 86 had about, I think, 91 horsepower. This has 108, so way more power. 4 valves per cylinder, but it's only a single cam. In Japan, they sold these with like the B16, which is VTEC and everything, made way more power. So many of these cars were swapped because it's so easy to do that swap. It's kind of rare to see one with the original engine and completely untouched here. As you can see, the valve cover looks terrible, and a lot of the little brackets and fasteners need to be redone, but overall it's really clean. What I'm really excited about is when you look at like the shock towers and all the molding and seam sealer and everything, it's all really, really clean. So the chassis is clean. It's just a lot of the sheet metal brackets and stuff that I'm gonna need to go through and update. The pinch welds on this thing, they're all great. I mean, there's a little bit of paint missing there, but no corrosion anywhere. It's really incredible. The hatch struts are bad, but it does have the cargo cover, and it came with the original Si wheels. All these cars came with steel wheels with these hubcaps. It also has the optional speaker pods, which is kind of cool. And little trivia here, this cargo light is also used on my Insight. So the same part number was used from 1988 to at least 2004. I actually used to hate these cars when I was around 16 because so many of them were so poorly modified, and the ones that were the loudest with the most obnoxious owners typically had automatic transmissions and completely stock engines that didn't put out any power. They were just all posers. But this car is just fantastic to drive. I have quite a few cars that handle pretty well, but this thing on the right road, I really don't think there's much that can outrun one of these. The combination of low weight with double wishbone suspension and just a perfect shifter and tons of visibility, it's a real enthusiast car. It's reliable, it's economical to own. These things are already climbing up in value. One of them sold on Bring a Trailer this year for $16,000, and I had around 100,000 miles. That car was perfect. I'm gonna see what I can do to get this car as good as it can be without spending a bunch of money. My goal here is preservation, not restoration. So what I'm going to be trying to find is paintless dent removal. I'm gonna be buffing this paint, bringing it back to life, and then a lot of touch-ups and little dings and stuff like that. But really, the goal is to not respray anything if I can help it. Other than that, I'm gonna be doing like an OEM plus interior, so I'm gonna be looking for floor mats and a couple other little things to make it a little nicer in here. But really, I want this to be just a really good example of what a Civic hatchback can be. This spring, I'm going to be doing a back-to-back video with this 90 versus my 86 Si. I really want to compare and contrast them, getting out of one and getting right into the other, because they're pretty similar recipes, but I think the outcome's quite a bit different. And I think that there's a reason that the EF chassis is still so desirable, whereas the third generation Civic, I mean, they've pretty much all gone now. It's rare to see them. They're still great cars, but I think this car is just better in every single way. I don't know if I'm going to keep it forever, but I've wanted to own one of these for so long, and this is like my favorite color of this chassis. The white just looks fantastic and kind of accentuates the lightweight nature of the whole car. Anyway, happy holidays and thanks for watching. I have much more content coming out. As you can see, snow is on the ground, so that means it's time for some snowmobile content. All right, cheers.